You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Okay, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson. And if you're a Browns fan, and I know we got a lot of new Browns subscribers and probably a lot of old Browns subscribers, considering how much we've covered Deshaun Watson over the last 2 years on this channel and Black and White Sports. I can only imagine the depths of hell you are currently in because you traded away so many assets and you got a starting quarterback that decided to, for lack of a better way of putting it, quit on you this past weekend. And that was after telling his teammates all week he was going to play. It obviously caught Kevin Stefanski off guard. The Cleveland Browns have been weird about this whole thing all week, and now there's a little peel back the curtain action that's going on. And it's not good. And Dorian Thompson Robinson is no longer your backup quarterback? Wait, what just happened? Yeah, there's been a change there, and because of that, there's been an elevation of another quarterback into what may end up being the starting quarterback against the San Francisco 49ers that are 5-0 and have one of the best D-lines in the entire league. So this is becoming a nightmare scenario. Keep in mind, you're paying $230 large, fully guaranteed for this dude. For Watson, that is. All right? Never mind all the capital you gave up. So, let's get to this. He's got a rotator cuff contusion. And for people like me, we better know that as he's got a bruise. Dude's got a rotator cuff bruise. Now, I don't know how your rotator cuff gets bruised. I've had rotator cuff surgery many moons ago. It was arthroscopic back in like 97. But I don't know how that happened. I don't know why that happened. And I don't know what that feels like. All I know is it didn't really hurt all that much, to be quite honest with you. And I had a tear. So that's neither here nor there, but I'm sure it makes it harder to throw a football. Okay, fine. This is Mary Kay Cabot. A rotator cuff contusion like Deshaun Watson can take 2 to 6 weeks to fully heal, says an orthopedic surgeon. So he's already missed a game. He's very likely going to miss this game. Keep in mind, at the start of the season, you had Joshua Dobbs as your backup. A guy that's actually looked pretty competent with less offensive talent around him with the Arizona Cardinals. Well, Dobbs is gone. All right? Dobbs is gone, and I'll get to your new backup quarterback in a second. It's a guy I actually like, but as an NFL quarterback, maybe not so much, but it's a guy we've covered in the past. In the very beginning of this channel, way back in the day, Deshaun Watson has already been sidelined for 2 weeks with a right rotator cuff contusion and could need more time to heal than that, a noted orthopedic surgeon consultant to the LA Galaxy told Cleveland.com, or he could feel well enough to face the 5-0 49ers on Sunday at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Man, for $200, if it's a bruise and not a tear, okay? If it's a bruise and not a tear, whoa, man, okay. I mean, personally speaking, I probably tore it all up and go, but okay. Watson, who suffered the injury September 24th against the Titans and set out the Ravens game October 1, that was the other day, is day-to-day with his injury as the Browns come off their bye week. That's the scariest part. You've had a bye week, and he's still not going to be able to go, it looks like. He rested during the week, but threw inside the Browns facility on Monday while the team practiced outside. Okay, so that's the other thing. Kevin Stefanski's acting all weird. He's praising players that were hurt, that still played, and they got Watson. He's throwing inside. I don't know if the media can get to him or not. I don't know if eyeballs outside of the Browns organization can get to Watson or not. But the Browns are acting so damn strange about this whole thing that it's raised a lot of antennas Okay? Keep in mind, this guy missed 11 games last year due to some overly handy massages he was getting, okay, and 25 civil lawsuits. If all goes as planned, he practiced on a limited basis on Wednesday when the team gets back to work after the day off on Tuesday. Well, this is Wednesday, folks. Deshaun Watson did not practice. That's per Adam Schefter. He did not practice today. Now, this is on to the recovery. Quote, it's variable. Clint Slopey, MD orthopedic surgeon at Cedars-Sinai Carlin Job Institute in L.A., who hasn't treated Watson but spoke in general terms, it really comes down to the amount of pain he's having and how much that pain affects his ability to throw and his strength in his arm, which affects his accuracy. Obviously, a quarterback is going to feel that injury more than anybody else with his throwing shoulder, so it's probably going to be somewhere from 2 to 6 weeks, depending on how well he can perform. In case you're just keeping track here, he missed last week. He's probably going to miss this week. So that's 2 games. 11 last year. Theoretically, you could have him miss 4 more. Okay. So that is 2, 13, 4 more. That's 17 games. So in a total of a potential 35 games, he will have missed half of them on a $230 million guaranteed contract. Can I outfit Jimmy Haslam with some clown shoes, some clown hair, and a red nose? Can I interest you in that, Jimmy Haslam? Because you are an idiot for giving this contract and coming across as so desperate. The good news, he said, is that such contusions usually have very good outcomes, and Watson should be like new when he heals. When that's the diagnosis, the tendon and muscle are intact, meaning it's not torn. It's bruised and it's swollen. I'm sure it's sore as hell, but the tendon is intact, so it usually heals without surgical intervention. Usually heals. It's not even a guarantee. It usually heals without surgery. Can you imagine if this dude ended up having shoulder surgery? Wow. I mean, that would be disastrous. Disastrous. He said fluid is on the shoulder, which Watson told CBS Sports Evan Washburn before the Ravens game was present, is typically a rotator cuff contusion, and that the fluid wouldn't have caused a tear to go undetected. That's extremely unlikely with modern MRI. Okay, here we are with the unlikelies or the shouldn'ts. Hopefully, and let's just say hopefully, if you're a Browns fan. So that leaves you with this guy right here, P.J. Walker, starting for the Browns versus the 49ers. Now, in case you're wondering, P.J. Walker, look, he played in 15 games the last 3 seasons for the Panthers. He started 7. He was 4-3. Okay, so that's the promising part. As with a lot of these guys, struggled with his completion percentage, 57%, not good. And his interception, his TD to interception ratio, 5-11, that's not good. He's 28 years old. Now, I'm going to tell you, the one thing about P.J. Walker that I know, and we covered the XFL a lot, the last iteration of the XFL was the Vince McMahon iteration, not the one 20 years ago, the one from COVID year, the Wuhan virus year. Well, anyway, P.J. Walker was going to be the MVP of that league had that league been able to finish out. He was killing it in the XFL. He was far and away, him and Jordan Ta'amu were the 2 most entertaining players. And frankly, that season, the XFL had some real entertaining players at quarterback. And Ta'amu and Walker were almost must-see TV on the XFL. And even watching him then, I thought, well, he's got a chance to maybe win some NFL games if he gets a shot. But again, you had Joshua Dobbs, and they chose to get rid of him. Even worse, it tells you, and I don't blame them for not wanting to throw Dorian Thompson Robinson out to the 49ers, to the Wolves, but you're still talking about elevating your practice squad quarterback, which is what P.J. Walker is. Now, guys, I don't know if you realize this, but, the Browns were a lot of people's potential Super Bowl picks. And since the start of the season, you've had a hurt quarterback, and Nick Chubb is gone for the year. I mean, it's turned into sort of a dumpster fire around there. And you got the organization and the coach acting all weird about your quarterback that's making $230 million guaranteed. And that's sort of the problem with that kind of a contract, is it's going to put that whole situation under a massive microscope. And why be so weird about the injury and why make sure you heap praise? I saw Willie Colon, former Pittsburgh Steeler. He was on the Carton show this morning. He crapped all over Deshaun Watson for not playing in that game. He was like, man, he should have shut up and got in that Ravens game. But he didn't do it. And, of course, you got to remember that's a former Steeler. But Willie Colon was a gamer, too. He was a tough SOB, and he's actually pretty damn good in the media now. So, anyway, it's turned into a mess. It's a total mess. You're staring at 2-4. There are some winnable games when I looked at the schedule beyond that. Let's see. Let me just look. You got the Niners. You got the Colts. Okay, toss-up. Seahawks. Should, under previous circumstances, it would have been a toss-up. I'm going to say loss, so you're 3-3, maybe. The Cardinals, that's a toss-up. The Ravens, yikes. The Steelers, well, I don't know. Depends on Matt Canada, maybe. Broncos, it could get, and the Texans are on there, but the Texans are way better than anybody thought they were going to be. So, anyway, there's your daily Deshaun Watson update, it seems like. I'm trying not to do Deshaun Watson videos every single day, but the drama around this organization and around Watson is just, it's baffling what Jimmy Haslam and this team decided to do in this acquisition. And it's going to be picked apart. You can believe it. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.